Let's do this. We are live. Welcome again, everybody, to another edition of our Sunday watch parties. Joining me today is Mr. Furzel. Welcome, Mr. Furzel.
Hey Sharon, thanks for
Uh,
having me.
you bet. Taking a break in the football action. I guess we're in the what is it? The playoffs.
Not yet.
So,
As it happens, there's
oh,
a very important game with my team's rivals happening now that, depending on the outcome, could clear a path for my team to still just barely make the playoffs. So, you
well,
know, I
I'll
won't
root
clog
for
up the
him.
chat with that discussion, but I'm keeping an eye on it.
Well, welcome. Yeah, welcome everybody. Um, we are doing Silent Night, Deadly Night, the classic from 1984. There is a lot of discussion that we were having before this started in the chats about the runtime on this, and the consensus is we don't know exactly what the runtime is. There are a lot of copies that have different runtimes, but they all seem to be the theatrical cut.
Yep.
Um, so we're just going to take a leap of faith, and as long as we all have the same year, we're all just going to be watching the same movie. Um, and yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Um, so the sync point is for my copy, it's like at the 1 second starting point. It's right before the wreath comes on screen and like right as the singing starts. Yeah, Mad Matt, Amazon is an hour and 22 minutes. Mine is from Shutter and it's an hour and 24 minutes. So we're just gonna, shrug our shoulders and on with the show.
That's right.
Um, so anyway, without a further ado, if we all want to get synced up to that, basically it's the black screen right before the wreath shows up. Um, we're going to count down to the start. Mr. Furzel, you want to give us a countdown?
Sure. Here we go. All right, guys. In five, four, three, two, one. Press play.
Right on. Okay, now um, we should all have the rated R version. There might be an unrated version floating around that maybe has some of the extra content in that they had to cut to get that R rating. Um, Mine is still the R rating, so
Yep.
yeah, we're just gonna kick this off and have some fun.
There we go.
Um, so in the comments already, let me do a shout out first. I'm gonna get right into some of these comments because they're classic. Um, Over there in YouTube, we have Miss Swift, we have Mad Matt, Calbot. Let's see, Edward the Black Prince is joining us. Eric, let's see, old Johnny Devick, welcome one and all.
Welcome, guys.
Um, and let's see, did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Over there in Discord, we've got a lively chat going. All right, where we've got Matt. You've been very active in the chat, Matt, and I'm just loving your comments. Um, Chaos Fear, Miss Swift. Let's see, Matt, Calbot. Who else? Oh yeah, Mr. Furzel's over there. Did I get everybody? Well, I
Um,
appreciate you all joining today. Who did I miss? Oh, Miss Swift is over there.
yep. Those are
Edward
so
the
far
Black
looks like
Prince.
all the ones in the watch party chat.
Exactly. Looks like everyone's doing double duty. Um, uh, okay, yes. So we are going to address the classic comment. Matt did a pre-watch right before, and love your comment. This is a classic only in the sense that it has been around for so long and it's part of a lot of people's Christmas viewing.
Hmm.
Um, this is not the best movie ever made. In my opinion, it's not the worst,
Hmm.
but it falls somewhere in there. This is definitely a Christmas movie, a great Christmas horror movie,
Mm.
um, with a budget of about $50, I'm
That's
guessing.
right.
Um, and but what it does have, it has got a great backstory for who is going to end up being our protagonist slash villain. We've got a great backstory that we can discuss as the
Yep.
movie goes on. Um,
Yeah, Edward the
you know
Black Prince. I would agree. I think Black Christmas is probably better by comparison, but if nothing else,
Yeah.
this film's got its notoriety just from its controversy.
Yes, exactly. Back when it was released, I was what, a sophomore in high school. It made the news because of its portrayal of a bad Santa.
Evil Santa.
You
Yep.
know, there were, I don't know if they were just housewives or there was like a group, a concerted effort to ban this movie. Um, it got a lot of notoriety.
Hmm.
That's basically how it came on my radar. Is you heard about all the backlash,
Yep.
and there were moms and there were groups that wanted to pull it out of the theater based on what the advertisements were. Um, and this was all part of, in the 80s, there was this part of what, satanic panic, where this is not a satanic movie, so it didn't get caught up in that, but there was an uproar about content, um, a really big uproar. Whereas if there was no uproar about this movie, it probably would have faded away.
Mm.
Maybe hit a few theaters, got a little notoriety, and then it would have quickly faded. But instead, just like you said, Mr. Furzel, this movie is known for that controversy.
Yep.
Um, I don't recall seeing did I don't recall seeing it in the movie theater myself. I think it was shortly after, when it was on cable or a rental, that it was because of that controversy where I picked it up and watched it just to see. Um, did anybody out there, any of you, have you seen it in the theater? What was it like if you had seen it in the theater? What was that experience like?
Mm.
Um, I don't remember as if there was anybody protesting at the movie theaters, but there was a lot of women going on TV. There were a lot of protests somewhere. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um,
When I was a kid, I remember whenever we would go to our video store, and this was back in the days when video stores were just VHS, and you had like the normal sections, and then you had like the spooky section, and I just always remember seeing this VHS cover of just the Santa with holding the axe about to go down the chimney, and it was just very mysterious, very very creepy. And I just kind of used my imagination to be like, man, I wonder what that movie's like. Because I knew I was never going to be able to watch it. I knew my parents would never, let us get it. Um, Even then, I think it probably still had a lot of controversy around it. And that was really the last time I remember seeing it, like actually a physical copy of it, until many years later. As I told you before, when I bought this on Blu-ray and then watched it myself as an adult. But it was always one of those like those kind of mysterious VHS films that are just kind of in the video store. That's like, man, I wonder what that movie will be. I'll never see it, but it really looks like it's scary. It looks like it's probably gory and something I probably should never watch. And it's probably a good idea that my parents steered me clear of it.
well, probably if you were way too young to watch it, um, that probably was the controversy, is they didn't want the young kids to view it. But really, it's the controversy itself that would attract the kids to find out what it's all about.
Yeah,
Um, this movie was rated R, so if the theaters were doing their job, they wouldn't have let kids in it anyway.
true. And it's not like
That
this
wasn't.
was. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
It's not like this was the first film that ever portrayed some sort of evil or malevolent supernatural force during Christmas time. I mean, there were plenty that came
Right.
out later and few that came out before, and plenty of horror films, as Edward the Black Prince already alluded to. I mean, Black
Yep.
Christmas that were focused around Christmas. So it's not as though someone wasn't using the holiday already to, scare people. So it's funny how the controversy kind of centered around this, but I think it's also probably due to the gratuitous nature of the
Yeah.
scene we're about to see play out here. Probably had a big effect on it.
Um, yeah. Here's some interesting comments. The grandpa is Bill Hare. I think the last time we saw him was Back to the Future. Um, that's a good comment with Miss Swift. There
He
was
definitely looked familiar.
yeah, Matt over there in Discord posted Will Hare plays Grandpa. He was Mr. Peabody in Back to the Future. Marty crashes the DeLorean into his Twin Pines.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay, there you go.
yeah. He was the farmer. Yeah, that shot at him with a shotgun. That's gay. Huh.
I would
Interesting.
not have placed him. Good
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely
Um,
looked familiar, but I wouldn't have made that connection.
yeah. Okay, so here we have our bad Santa. Um, but this certainly is not the most gratuitous, most violent movie out there. It's the uproar and it's the controversy people make of it, I think, that hypes this movie up, that makes people want to see it. That's really all of that nonsense does is it doesn't scare people away from it. It never scared me away from a movie.
Yep.
Um,
The best kind of
uh,
publicity.
it's just publicity. And you know what they say in Hollywood? There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yep. That's right.
Um, and who was it that was talking about? Okay, Edward the Black Prince says it's like Passion of the Christ being boycotted for being too brutal and sacrilege. Um, y- yeah. When has a backlash like that ever made a movie so no one wants to see it? It has quite the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Um, but I really hope that kids weren't too young when they saw this that would have a bad impression of Santa, because you do want to keep it really light and fun and not scare the crap out of kids.
Of course,
Um,
they did release. They did also, especially in the last couple of years, release a few films that like Krampus, which I think we did last
mhm.
week. That just kind of takes the whole Christmas thing. It's like, oh well, what if it is an evil, malevolent force that's Santa Claus, and it's not actually meant to be a nice thing. There was also um, a I think the Netflix series Love, Death, and Robots. I think they did an episode where a stop motion episode that showed Santa as not a nice gift giver, but actually like a evil, grotesque alien creature that only
Oh,
brings gifts to good children, and then um, does bad things to the bad kids. So that idea has been out there before.
certainly this is not the first movie to ever do it.
Yeah,
Um, but this is the start of Billy's traumatic upbringing. And they just happen to stop by the side of the road thinking it's just Santa Claus that broke down. And of course, Billy's probably wondering why the heck is Santa driving a car? Where's the sleigh?
right.
Um,
Well,
but
yeah, oh,
at least he gets away. Yeah,
yeah,
Matt, never pick up hitchhikers. Didn't we learn that?
right.
Um, oh, you know what, Miss Swift? And remember The Last Temptation of Christ by Scorsese. Oh, yeah. That movie was I think the pinnacle of boycotting of everyone screaming at it at the top of their lungs to boycott the movie, shut it down, and all it did was it brought it front and center in people's minds where they wouldn't have noticed otherwise. Um, so yeah, this Santa, not a very nice guy. Um, okay, Mr. Ferzel, is that your volume? If you want to turn that down
Oh
just
yeah,
a hair.
gotcha.
Okay. Yes, Calbot. Okay, so far Billy is 2 for 2. Number one is why did we visit Grandpa, which is traumatic enough, and number two, don't stop. So he is full of trauma tonight, and his younger brother, what's his younger brother's name? Billy and uh, Billy. Okay, anybody know off the top of their head? Oh, Ricky. 8 year. Okay, Ricky is the younger brother. Um, okay. Yep, think about it. It is Ricky.
St. Mary's Home
Uh,
for Orphan Children.
okay. Oh, Chaos Fear. Yeah, we started timestamp. Yeah, are y'all caught up? We can do a timestamp now if you need it.
So the
Um,
mother did die, but how did she die? It looked like Santa just slapped her around a little bit. Did she break her neck or?
yeah, cut her neck.
Oh wow.
It was not that violent. It was because he put the knife up and then you kind of saw it drag across the
Oh, I
neck.
see.
But it wasn't that gratuitous at
Yeah.
all. Um, yes, Edward the Black Prince, the brother who disappeared the rest of the film. He should have grown up in the orphanage with his brother, but yeah, I don't think we see him.
Yeah,
Um,
Edward the Black Prince, you're right. I think he shows up as our main antagonist in the sequel.
okay, big sigh. Huh. Okay, this has how many movies in the franchise? Five or
Oh,
six.
at least five or six, yeah. And I think the later
Um,
movies kind of went down a different plot line. I think they kind of abandoned this after a while and did their own little thing.
okay, Chaos Fear is saying four, so there was with four in addition to this.
Oh,
Um,
four sequels, okay.
so uh, a big sigh because all I gotta say is I haven't watched them. I have no desire. Um, this movie should have been one and done.
Yeah,
It's, I think it barely made its money back. I think being generous, the budget was 750,000, box office 2.5 million,
hmm.
which I believe at the time was very generous considering all the controversy. Had there been none, maybe 2 weeks at the box office and then it would have gone straight to video.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess from that they figured this is a franchise moneymaker.
Well, I
Um,
mean, yeah, statistically, as long as it makes back a couple times its budget, it's technically a financial success, and it's usually enough to warrant a sequel or two.
yeah, yeah. Oh, classic, Matt. The uh, the picture over there, the GIF in Discord. That was from Airplane. Definitely one of my favorite comedies. Um,
I was just about to ask, is the little boy there, is he the same one that is asking to go up into the cockpit and talks with the captain? Can't remember his name.
I believe so, and he sits next to that little girl, and they're just so adult the
Yeah.
whole movie. Um, I I believe so. Yeah, okay. He did go up into the cockpit, and I think the captain was the one who asked him, "What have you ever been in a Turkish prison?" I think. Um, oh yeah, that is a classic movie. Um, yes, thank you. Okay, Edward the Black Prince. They put a remake out this year. Nobody talked about. Yeah,
Hmm.
there was a remake from this year.
Hmm.
The the only way that I knew about it was trying to find this movie, and the 2025 popped up. But I didn't realize it was a direct remake. So yeah, I will pass. I'll pass on that. So Miss Swift, yeah, I definitely saw number 4. Not sure about number 2. Saw lots of clips from number 2. So it looks like okay, and so Calbot is saying over there in Discord, 2 is a must see simply for, and the
Oh, the
gift of
garbage day.
Garbage Day. Is that the brother? So then
Yep,
the sequel picks up with the younger brother.
yep.
Okay.
I think we've all seen that meme at one time or another. Probably more of us have seen that than have seen the actual film, but that seems pretty notorious.
Okay, because I have seen that before. I will pass on the movie. Um, this this movie, the original, just should have been one and done. It tells a story, a complete story, the beginning, a middle, and an end. That's it.
Hmm.
Um, you kind of feel bad for this kid. Didn't ask for what happened to his parents. Didn't ask to grow up in an orphanage. Um, One of the things that this movie has been praised for is the development of this kid's backstory.
Hmm.
Um, and he give all the quotes, they're classic. Yep. Matt is saying, have you ever seen a grown man naked? Yeah, and he also asked him, what, have you ever been to a Turkish prison? Yeah.
Oh, so there is so Ricky is there. Okay.
Did we just see him? Did I miss it?
Yeah, he just asked Billy what's wrong, and the other boy said your brother's a nutcase. That's what's wrong. So we do actually get a little bit of him here at the orphanage. But you're right, Sharon. I like how they are like logically putting together this kid's kind of case study as to why his mind is where it's at. You know, having to deal with this kind of trauma.
Yeah. And you have the mother superior who is very unsympathetic to him.
Hmm.
We're getting glimpses of the other nun, and I know she has a name. If they give her name, anyone shout out.
I don't know the
Um,
actress. I think they said Sister Margaret.
oh, I could look into my notes. Oh, there we go. Yes, so Mother Superior, that is her name in the movie. Oh, yes, Sister Margaret. And Gilmer McCormick plays Sister Margaret. Um, yes, okay, who had that comment? Matt, the continuity error, all 3 actors portraying Billy at different ages have different eye colors. Yep, different
Yes,
actors, okay? Um, the kid at the beginning, Jonathan Best, was age 5. This kid right here, Danny Wagner, is age 8.
hmm.
Um, and Brian Wilson shows the grown-up Billy.
From the Beach
All
Boys.
3 different actors who don't really look alike.
That must be a different Brian Wilson. The only
Um,
Brian Wilson I know is the one from the Beach Boys.
right, different one. Yep, Robert Brian Wilson, I should say. Okay, Robert Brian Wilson. I believe
Oof.
the I believe that actor. I think he's still around, if I'm not mistaken.
In chat, correct
Um,
me if I'm wrong. Mother Superior, I've definitely seen her in Predator 2 as the medical examiner, but I can't think of any other film I've seen her in.
hmm.
But check me if I'm wrong about that. She does look like that the medical examiner that examines the spear tip in Predator 2. I don't know what the actress's name is, but I don't know that I've seen her in anything else.
Okay, her name. She is a French American actress.
Oh,
I might butcher her name. Lillian Chauvin. Did I get that right?
or maybe Chauvin.
Um, yeah, if it's a French last name, Chauvin, maybe. We can do. Okay, Miss Swift is saying Gilmer McCormick appears to have stopped acting shortly after this.
Hmm.
But yeah, we can do a quick search of Mother Superior. Um,
Gilmore McCormick was probably like, look, they had me act next to a pedophile, and then they had me go through a traumatic Christmas. I can't do any more of these acting things.
um, yeah, you know, for whatever reason, if she just kind of dropped out of Hollywood, yeah, who knows? Oh, okay. So I am looking up. There we go. Calbot beat me to the punch. Calbot it says she was in Predator 2. She has got quite a big repertoire. Um,
Prolific career in television, guest starred in such as The X Files,
ah,
Makes Sense, Murder She Wrote, Star Trek Deep
Days
Space
of Our
Nine.
Lives, General Hospital. She has made the rounds.
Wow, yeah. Sounds like she does
So
go around.
you will probably recognize her in her roles. Wow, almost too numerous to mention. Yep, and Catch Me If You Can. You're right, Miss Swift.
Whew. It's got a nice left hook.
Okay, over there in Discord, Chaos Fear. Don't tell me that's a Silent Night, Deadly Night game. Is that the board game? No way. It had a board game. There was also a comment about we should play the board game, but I glanced over because I didn't realize it really was a board game. That's wild. So yeah, Billy has been traumatized. So yeah, we've got a big leap, 10 years.
Yep.
So this is actually a good transition I hadn't noticed before. Um, Sister Margaret is actively helping Billy transition to the real world. I think because she recognizes the trauma that he went through. Um, and that's how he came to, yes, this actor who is going to be playing Billy's boss, Mr. Sims.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, we know him.
He's he was the father of one of the kids in Weird Science. He was a Wyatt's father, I think, unless I'm mistaken, Chat.
Um, Pick that conversation up. Mr. Sims, I can pull up the actors' names unless you guys know it offhand. Britt Leach is his name. He is a very prolific character actor.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, Chaos Fear, that is the game. Chaos Fear is saying I own a copy of the game. It's fast paced and pretty fun, single player or multiplayer. That's wild.
I love that we have this cheerful little montage of Mr. Sims looking on approvingly as as Billy's doing his job, doing his work, helping out the people. A little totally inconsistent, but it's a nice breather, before things get wacky again.
Exactly.
Oh, Return of
Um,
the Jedi. There you go.
we we're seeing him kind of settle into normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah, these games in the back are real games and real toys
Oh
from that
yeah.
era. Definitely Edward the Black Prince, some good product placement.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, Johnny Devick, it's a good point. They really force Santa onto him. Um, and I think just unbeknownst to everybody about the trauma that he has experienced that's still inside him. Um, it happens, that time of the year, Santa kind of gets forced on a lot of us.
Yeah.
Um, okay, thank you, Matt. Over in there in Discord, Matt is saying, okay, Mr. Sims, Britt Leach, he was the guy who constantly gets struck by lightning in the great outdoors. That's a great movie with John Candy, and I have not seen that movie in literally decades.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me. I think the one thing I remember clearly from that movie is them shooting a bear and shooting the fur off its butt or something. So, like a bear rear end. I think that's the only thing that stuck with me.
That's definitely a John Candy movie.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly, that movie end with a boat race, I think.
Hmm.
Um, there were a couple, it could have been the other movie that he did where he was an air traffic controller and needed a vacation.
Weekend rental.
Um, yes, that was another one of his that I saw, and I think I'm getting those two confused. Albot had that Jabba the Hutt action playset, still do. Oh,
Oh man.
nice.
I think my older brother, I think, had like a Jabba the Hutt kind of like action figure sort of thing, but it's probably been sold off long ago. I think I still have the trading cards, the Return of the Jedi trading cards in a box in my basement somewhere, but that's about all that's left over from
Ooh.
that.
Um, Matt says, I'm more invested in looking at the toys on the shelves than watching the movie.
That's right.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a crawl game. Um, okay, so if this came out in 84, Return of the Jedi came out in 83.
Yeah.
But okay, so the time would still work.
Yeah. There was a looks like a Smurfs board game over there. They I know were really
Hmm.
popular in the early '80s. There was a GI Joe. They came out right around that time. So yeah, it's probably how the movie made a lot of its funding. It's like, yeah, we'll show your toys up here. Just help us make the movie.
Yeah, so yeah, this is um
This is key to the plot.
yeah, okay, so we have another sort of, sex scene. Um and yeah, this is part of the plot. This is not just okay for the sake of showing it, I guess.
Well, there's something to be said for that in a lot of '80s slashers, anyway.
Exactly. You got to put the butts in the
Yeah.
seats, right?
And if memory serves, we'll be getting a little more of this later on too.
Yeah, I think so, if memory serves. Um, put in with a little bit of Santa trauma. But with the Black Prince, why are we forced to look at Billy's hairy ass? It's part of the plot.
It's key to the plot.
Um, so the director of this, I keep butchering the guy's name. It's Charles Sellier. Is that how you pronounce it? Charles Sellier.
Hmm.
He's kind of prolific. He was the one who created Grizzly Adams TV show.
Huh? How about that?
Um, yeah, and I didn't know that either until, dive a little deeper. He really leaned heavily into this movie with that kid's trauma in mind. He didn't just set out to make a stupid movie. He really did want to show the kid's backstory. Um, so it is integral to the story to show where Billy was and how he got to be where he is. Um, Okay, Matt is saying, why do you think this is product placement? The movie is so low budget that they just went into an actual toy store and started filming. Um, yes, but when you're actually, for legal reasons, when you actually try to distribute the movie, I think for legal reasons, you have to get permission to show the toys on screen. Um, so I don't know how that worked on this movie in particular. Um, because if they didn't get permission and they showed the movie, there could be backlash. Or this movie was like so low budget, they just filmed it and hope it would just get through. If that's the case, then I think thinking it through, the backlash with everybody wanting to ban this movie would have pulled some of those toys off the shelf. They would not have wanted that to be associated with this movie. Um, so yeah, very good point, Matt. Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's a good one, Johnny Depp. Shot at toys or hairy ass. Yeah. So again, this kid is basically being forced into the Santa suit, although he could have said no. He could have
Right.
said, you know what? I've had enough. You guys don't know where I've come from, what I've seen. So, no, no. Okay, once again, Matt, you're right on the money. That comment about have you ever seen a grown man naked? Unfortunately, we all just did. Brilliant. Yeah, we
Hey,
saw a little bit more of Billy than we wanted.
these movies are for the ladies as much as they are for the guys. Hmm.
Um, so yeah, he's now passing on this trauma to this little kid. Um, and you see all the parents smiling. Yeah, okay. Way to go, Santa. It's it's a good thing this movie is less than an hour and a half. It,
Mhm.
no wasted space, no wasted film. Let's just kind of get to it.
Oh, but now Sister Margaret knows that that's not the thing. It's funny that she just hangs up on the guy, though. You think you'd want to tell him, like, hey, maybe Billy shouldn't be in that suit. He's had some trauma with it, blah, 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 blah.
Maybe she should have picked up the phone and then called the boss.
That's right.
Yeah, this was way before, cell phones, internet. But at least we have the idea that she knows something's up. Okay, Mr. Sims.
I love that. Why
It
hasn't someone made that into a meme? That seems like that would be appropriate, especially for this year.
just happened to have all that alcohol by the registers. I love that.
Of course. Time for the Christmas
Um,
party.
so okay, in that previous shot, there was a box with an AT-AT on the top shelf. Because I'm taking Matt's advice and I'm looking at like all the toys in the background too. There are some classic toys. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Matt, is researching the law rather than watching this turd a second time. Well, good. Here we go. For all of you guys that are interested, Matt pulled this up. Product placement itself has existed for ages, but formal laws requiring disclosure in the US really kicked off during the late 80s, early 90s, especially after the 1980s product placement boom, like ET in 1982, with rules
Oh,
solidified by the FCC in the 2000s, driven by concerns over undisclosed commercials, particularly after the payola scandals of the 50s pushed for transparency in broadcasting.
I see. And that
There
actually
you
makes
go.
that makes a lot of sense, especially when in the '80s, Reagan tried to deregularize Saturday morning cartoons because they were afraid that Saturday morning cartoons were becoming just commercials, basically selling to kids. So, and I especially remember with ET, the Reese's Pieces thing. I don't know if Reese's Pieces were invented at that time, but I remember they were like huge part of being connected with that movie to the point that when my parents when we went to see ET, they got us the Reese's Pieces, and they're just like, "Hey, this is from ET," blah 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 blah. So it was
Yeah.
a big part of that.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces had been around before ET, but, of course, then we know what happened. It just exploded in popularity.
Yeah,
Um, I think they wanted to go with M&M's, but M&M's said no. But
they regret
okay,
that one.
but we just read that the laws, it wasn't, like, solidified as a law, but so Spielberg technically could have used the M&M's, right?
Yeah,
And I bet M&M's is now kicking themselves.
yeah, yeah. The Mars
Um,
is it Hershey or is it the Mars Corporation that owns
I
M&M's?
think Mars has always owned M&M's.
Yeah, I think that
Um,
sounds about right.
yeah, but yeah, for some reason, M&M's, they said no to ET. I guess they
Old
didn't realize the power of product placement.
old Johnny Devick says they didn't want to be associated with a crazy alien, which I guess is fair. They did. No one knew it was going to be a blockbuster at the time it came out.
Yeah. Well, story goes that George Lucas, when he was trying to get, he has the rights to Star Wars and he was trying to get, production costs covered and all of that. He wanted the marketing rights. And the studio said, "Yeah, you can have them. That's not really our interest."
Hmm.
Hindsight is always 2020,
Yep.
and we know how well that worked out for them. Yeah. Edward the Black Prince is saying Eminem, live with your dumb decision. Absolutely. They kind of are. And I think they've actually come out and acknowledged, yeah, we screwed up.
Well, I don't think
Yep.
you have to feel too sorry for them. I mean, there's only about a 2 dozen different varieties locally of M&Ms out there, and there's always the commercials, especially before movies and movie theaters nowadays. So I'm sure they're doing fine.
There we go, Chaos Fair. They need Santa liqueur.
Same liqueur.
Oh, from Upright Citizens Brigade. Oh,
Now, see, I thought that she was into Billy, not into this other dude. Why is she getting on with him? Uh oh.
Billy had a what that scene was, the gratuitous hairy ass scene, that was like in his mind. He was fantasizing about her.
Right.
Um, and you know what? Now it's just all coming together. All this trauma's coming together for him in the Santa suit. I guess now he's taking on the persona. Seeing the girl that he liked going with another guy.
And they are being naughty.
They're being naughty. And you know what the Mother Superior said? Got to be punished.
Punishment.
Yep. Oh, Matt. What on earth? We need a Mac and Me rewatch party?
No, I don't think we do.
God. Um, uh, oh, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Edward the Black Prince, you're right. Any moment Billy's gonna stop the rape. Um, what turned into a consensual encounter is quickly turning into, um, Billy might be in the right here. So he's
See,
not wrong.
I see he's tapping into that supernatural strength that 80s slashers tend to have for some reason.
He's finding the power within him, kind of.
Wow.
Um, so I guess we're supposed to believe that this scene, all of his memories, all of this trauma is coming back to haunt him, or to solidify itself in his life that he can't outrun. Um, good comment, Johnny Devick. Lots of gratuitousness here. I wonder.
Yep, it's not over, old Johnny Devick either.
Yeah, there were a lot of stuff that had to be cut because at first the ratings board was going to give him an X. So we had to edit out quite a bit of material. So I wonder if it had to do with some of this flashback as well. And maybe all of these murders that were being filmed had just a lot more violent content.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah, the unedited version has got to be out there somewhere.
I'd be curious too to hear from the female members of our chat here. I mean, because there are some women actresses that naturally are conflicted about exposing themselves that way on film, something that's going to last, practically forever. But for there to be so much in this film, it makes me wonder: is like, what are people's thoughts on it? Is it okay if it's just acting, if it's just a thing, or is it something that people would never do for no amount of money?
Are you talking about like by today's standards or why they did it back here in the 80s?
Well, or just yeah, I mean, back in the '80s specifically, because it
Yeah,
seemed like there was no shortage, but it also I know that there were some female actresses that were very protective naturally of their bodies and of their exposure.
yeah.
So I'm just curious as to what would motivate an actress or actor to say like, oh yeah, I'm cool with showing whatever, whatever it is for the film, but then others saying, well, I think that's gratuitous. I don't think that needs to be in the
Right.
film. Like, can we do something else?
Ah, that's a good question. Um,
Oh, there goes Mr.
I
Sims.
I would assume that it would depend on how badly the actress wants the part.
Hmm.
Um, there are some actresses that are big stars now that I don't recall have ever had to do a gratuitous scene.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts comes to mind.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think she's ever had to do a scene or lose a part because she refused to do it. Um,
And of
yeah,
course, well, of course,
that
Kate Winslet had that famous scene in Titanic, but it didn't seem. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, it didn't hurt her career. Or didn't. I don't think she was regretful of doing that.
Oh, and I think you can hear a lot of actresses talk about having to do that in their career where it was often an artistic choice that they chose to do it because it was an integral part of the story and it wasn't gratuitous. Um, but then you also have the argument that, okay, Miss Swift is saying, I've heard you get pressured a lot, especially when starting out,
Mm.
or you're more unknown. Matt is saying for every actress declining nudity at an audition, there are hundreds willing to do it.
Hmm.
And that's kind of where it's at. The studio knows that they can have it in their film because there will be an actress out there that is willing to do it. But the actresses, as they get better, better known, become box office hits, they can then choose their roles. So it's a fine line, I
Yeah.
guess. If you say no, then the studio could just not ever hire you because there will be someone else that will do it. Um, yeah, I mean, personally, If it's part of the story, you know, it's okay. Sometimes gratuitous in some of these horror movies we're watching, you just kind of let it slide by. All
Yeah.
right, we're watching it, but let's get to the movie, kind of.
Well, and
Um,
I think Miss Swift makes a good point there too. It says the lower budget films, the TNA is one of the selling points. I mean, I think also, especially back in the day, back in the '80s, this would have been one of the few commercial outlets where you could, you know, see that sort of thing without having to be like, oh, I'm, getting something from like the back section behind the curtain kind of thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm watching a horror movie, which just so happens to have these little bits in it that could stimulate other needs.
Good point. Because as we all know, just because it's an R movie and if you're too young, you can't get into the movie theater, it will show up on Blockbuster. And not all the clerks at Blockbuster would check our ages.
That's right.
So, yep. Yep. Okay, Billy has he's officially crossed over, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah,
He not only
he's got a
took
break.
out, he had that, yeah, he had that mental break. He took out Andy, who was the slime ball, but then to take out Pamela, who did nothing wrong,
Hmm.
um, and then Mr. Sims, and then what is her name? The manager, is taking them
Uh,
all out.
yep. Oh, a little late, Sister Margaret.
Um, so yeah, he's becoming bad Santa.
Well, that's a whole other movie.
That is a whole, yeah. Billy Bob Thornton. What is also, what was it, 2008? No, 2003. Wow, that's over 20 years old.
Yep. Yep.
That was a pretty good movie.
Edward the Black Prince says they knew my age. They just didn't care. It was great. Well, they probably sympathized as again back in those days, back in the '80s. I mean, it was pretty much this or like grainy footage with an antenna that you got off of someone's cable or something.
Exactly.
Oh, there we go. We got some
Exactly.
more.
Oh, hey, Santa's pretty good with that bow and arrow. Nice shooting there, Santa. Um, okay, we're going to do a time check. I am about 51 minutes in. How's everybody else doing for time? Are we pretty much synced up? Yeah, you know what, Edward the Black Prince, they didn't care your age. Um, the Blockbuster that I used to frequent, they would have a lot of those horror ones on the bottom shelves, right? That hardly anyone ever wanted to rent. So when me and my friends, or I would go in and want to rent one of those, they didn't care because it was just another rental, for more money that Blockbuster makes. What are they going to say? No, you can't have
Hmm.
that. Okay, 50. Yep. Okay. Eric says 51, 5110 or so. Okay. Yeah. So we're still all kind of synced up.
Let's see.
Oh, cool, Matt. The first R movie I saw in the theater was Saturday Night Fever. I was underage, so I had to go with my dad. It was a double feature, and the first movie was full of sex scenes. Wow. Oh, double features. I remember the good old days. Boy, this movie's just full of sex, isn't it? Oh, this is an interesting scene, guys. This is a really good kill. Yeah. Matt, how old were you when you went with your dad? So yeah, man, surprised that my dad didn't get up and drag me out. Yeah, that's interesting.
Hmm. Just standing in an open doorway, looking like that. Hmm.
Yep. Yes. Okay. Thank you. There's a mention. Um, Chaosphere mentioned Leanna Quigley. This is her scene. Um, I sometimes don't see her in the credits for this because she gets overlooked sometimes because I think she's only in this one scene,
Hmm.
but she still should get a credited role.
Sure. 2 credits.
Um, so okay, that Matt, that gif of her, I am drawing a blank of the name of that movie she was in the graveyard. Why am I drawing a blank on that movie?
Return of the Living Dead.
Thank you. And sorority babes in the slime ball Bolorama. That's a classic. And
And this guy's pretty
and
cool under the collar here, playing pool while he's waiting for his girlfriend to come back.
yeah, no kidding. Um, okay. We've seen Leanna Quigley in other watch parties, right?
Hmm.
At least a couple of them. Um, so Miss Swift, I don't remember the first R movie I saw in the theater, but I did see Lee Horsley's The Sword and the Sorcerer in the theater. Yeah, little breaking and entering there. Yeah.
Ah, what a waste of a good pair of antlers.
Yeah, this is a horny kill, I guess. Antlers. Ba-dum-bum. Um, oh, Miss Swift is saying I also was part of a group of young kids who went to see Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You saw that in the theater? I've seen that numerous times.
Yeah.
She's not doing a very good job of fighting back, is she? She's just screaming and not really in fear for her life. This is a good scene, though. I think this is where all the budget went to for special effects. That's cool. Um, yeah, neat discussion. The first R movie that you guys have ever seen. Do you remember? Um,
Hmm.
Cowbot. Cowbot is saying the first R-rated movie I saw in the theater was Alien with my dad's. I was 16. Oh, Aliens.
First R-rated movie.
The first R-rated movie. Hmm.
Is The Wraith R-rated? That I don't know. That was probably PG. Hmm. You know what?
Um,
I think I'm with Calbot. I think the first one I probably saw was probably one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
yeah. Miss Swift was saying I was single digits in age at the time too, so most of the adult stuff went right over my head. Yeah. Um, trying to remember the first R movie that I remember seeing that maybe had an impact. Um, I was exposed to it, I think, at such a young age. Um, my Nobody really cared what I was watching, so I think, but I can't remember. I remember seeing Basket Case in the theater, way too young, but I don't know if that was my first. There we go. Cowbot is saying Wraith was PG-13. That
Okay.
was 85.
I think that was 86. I might be wrong about that.
Um, yeah. What's the consensus? Was Wraith 85, 86, something like that? Okay, good point, Eric. Is it me, or can you clearly see the unrated scenes? They look a lot worse and grainy than the rest of the movie.
Yeah, probably added on after the fact.
Um, could be because I did have a scene when he was in the toy store. There was a grainy scene, but it didn't seem like it was um anything unrated.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, thanks, Calbot. Yeah, it was 86
Okay.
with a young Charlie Sheen in there. I figured it must have been rated R just because there were also some gratuitous shots in that one, but it's also probably back in the day where that stuff didn't count as much as it does today. It was probably one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets was probably one of the first R-rated films I saw.
Hmm. Yeah, they started coming out in 80, so
Yep.
yeah, I probably saw them back in the day too. Uh-oh. Bad Santa's on a killing spree, but will he spare this little girl? Let's hope Santa has a conscience.
Hmm.
Um, okay, Johnny Devick. Can't say I get much out of this. Just a sad Santa picking people out left and right. Just violence, no action or suspense, mostly. Like some mere cat and mouse.
Well, don't forget all the TNA, Johnny. I mean, that's got to be the other reason we're here. And what about the sad character study of this poor kid Billy, who is just, working through his trauma, and the only way he knows how through bloody murder? There's got to be some sympathy there.
Um, yeah, and there's there's got to be a little bit of humanity still left in him because he's acting the part of Santa, but had nothing to give the girl except
But the box cutter.
the box cutter.
That's all he had
So,
on
but
him.
it just defies logic. But so deep down, does he know he's killing for a reason? Otherwise, why didn't he just kill the little girl?
Hmm.
Because he has a conscience?
Well, she told him that she was a good girl. That's all he really got to do is just go up to him like, "Oh, hey, I've been good." He's like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yeah, yeah." It's like, "All right," and then just just move on to somebody else.
Okay. So maybe it is part of his trauma that if you're bad, you get punished, but this girl is good. She didn't do anything. So here's here's my box cutter, little girl. Merry Christmas.
Miss Swift, if you go back to the Wraith, there is a scene where Charlie Sheen's character, once resurrected, is having an intimate moment in a little lagoon with the girl, and that's where your nudity happens. I thought back to that because that was one of the first times I saw that on screen. I was like upstairs, like kind of looking down through the upstairs floor downstairs to see what the older kids were watching. I saw that and I was like, wow, they put that on TV, and you know, it's kind of where that came in.
Um, yeah, I wonder why that movie doesn't get more love. The Wraith,
Yeah, it's an
all-star
interesting
cast.
film. Yeah, great cast, a very
Yeah.
strange revenge, supernatural kind of film. It's a weird niche in there, but yeah, it's got its up points.
Um, yeah, maybe doing a little bit more research. The budget was 8 million Canadian dollars, but it doesn't
Hmm.
say how much money it made. Maybe it was a little sleeper of a movie. Does anybody else remember seeing that? Okay, Chaos Fear. Um, okay, this long stream of comments that you had, you said, you know what? I think I saw Howard the Duck in theaters. You get a gold star because I will give a gold star to anybody else who has seen Howard the Duck in theaters. I avoided that like the plague. Um,
It was the first
and
Marvel movie.
I think I saw it once. I don't even know if I saw it all the way through, but I remember little bits of it. Oh,
Yeah, you got some
you know,
real bad dudes here chasing kids off their toboggans so that they can sled down a hill at night.
well,
Real
they're
adventurers.
probably going to run across the Griswolds. We'll do a crossover. Why not?
Doesn't one of these?
Um,
Do I remember this correctly? Oh, there we go. I figured one of them must have got decapitated. Yep, there we go.
did you? Did someone just get decapitated? I think I have an extra scene. This scene is extra long for me.
I'm at the scene where the kids, the bullies, scared off the kids, and they get on the toboggans going down the sled, and he just capped one. Um, I'm at the 1 hour, just coming up on the 1 hour 5 minute mark.
Okay, Miss Swift saw Howard the Duck on cable. Cowbot is pretty sure he saw Howard the Duck in theaters too. Okay, you guys are all getting gold stars. I think this might be an extended scene for me because I've got these bullies are now pushing the kids away. They had this big monologue, this big dialogue.
Hmm.
Okay, Cowbot, thank you. Pretty sure you're watching the unrated version. It could be. Because now I'm a little bit off, I think, from you guys. Yeah, Chaos Fear Uncensored Cut has added scenes. But the scene that I'm watching, this extended toboggan scene, added nothing to the story. What they should have added was a little bit more violence, because that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Swift, the bullies are just now getting on the sled for me. Me too.
Right now, I've got Sister Margaret. She's in a police station talking to, I guess, the lead detective on the case about Billy and giving his little backstory. So yeah, it looks like they add a little more because that's what we
Interesting.
need. We need a little more of the bully's motivation, for stealing kids'
Yeah, because they're
sled.
just dicks.
That's right.
Yeah, we needed a little bit more of them yelling at these kids and throwing them off the toboggan. Now the guy is getting decapitated,
There you
which we didn't see. The unrated, we should have seen it.
go.
Although that's a pretty good visual of the body is still on the toboggan. We didn't get a close
Yep.
up of the neck. We're not really seeing much of it, and then the head. That's a
Mm.
pretty good special effect.
Yeah.
But obviously the body should have fallen off the toboggan. Okay, Chaos Fear, I'm still on the sledding. So yeah, maybe you have the extended cut too. So this makes no sense for an extended unrated cut to have stuff that is a G rating anyway.
Hmm.
Johnny Devick only saw the body on the sled. Oh, did you guys see the head? Maybe my cut had the head that rolled on the side. You got to see it. Maybe that was unrated. One of the reasons why he had to cut that to get an R rating, which, guys, by today's standards, this scene is tame.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Matt. You're far too generous to this movie, Sharon. I am. I am. I will give a lot of love to movies in general. Um, I will always see the good in them and try to see them in the best possible light. I just appreciate this art form so much,
Yep.
from an artistic standpoint, from all that went behind it, the vision, producing it, and all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it.
Yep.
Um, Even if the final project is not the best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one goes out to make a bad movie, right? They're always trying to. I mean, it's either for the art or they're trying to express a theme or an idea that's just been rattling around inside them forever, or they're trying to make something they think is going to be entertaining and put a lot of butts in the seats. But no one goes out to make a crappy movie. They always try to put some blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Right.
Oh boy, here's
Um, okay. Are we all seeing the same scene now?
Santa just getting shot.
Nope. I'm back at the orphanage.
Oh
All the
yeah.
kids are unwrapping their presents.
Okay, yeah, that's like the scene before where I'm at. I think I'm on the
Ah,
theatrical version too.
gotcha. Um, okay, but it looks like okay, Edward the Black Prince got the head too. Um, so yeah, whatever version you guys are watching, that I had that extra scene of Mother Superior at the orphanage and this little girl was on the phone.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, we had that too.
eh, okay. And now we see Sister Margaret actually taking action and going to the police. Oh, Matt is currently watching ads. They are probably more entertaining than the movie.
What's up, little buddy? What's up,
And
little buddy?
I will do anything to avoid watching ads. I am
I'll tell you
so
what.
over it. But
I
sometimes
tell
they're
you
better
what.
than the movie.
Yeah. Man, I can remember like in the good old days, you could watch something on YouTube and there wouldn't be any ads at all, or you might get maybe one ad, maybe at the halfway point or something. But what's silly is now you'll get ads that are longer than the video itself that you're watching.
Yeah.
You'll get like three or four of them, or five or six of them now. Yeah, it's streaming was supposed to be the antidote to network television, but now it's just becoming that all over again. It's just kind of repeating the same cycle.
Yeah. Um, and they're getting smarter about it because where before YouTube you would be able to skip a lot of the ads, it's getting to the point where they're not letting you skip and you have to sit through it
Yep.
all.
Yep.
So we're right back to network television
Yep.
when you can't skip through
Absolutely.
the ads.
All right,
Um,
Eric, I need some context, buddy. You posted a GIF of Miss Piggy in the watch party chat,
oh,
but what's that about, pal? Yeah, you gotta let me know
um,
where that's coming from.
I remember that that was a reference to the orphanage scene when you saw the kids around the tree. One of them had a Miss Piggy doll, and when she was kind of like waving it in the air.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Another product placement. Yep. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this. Matt posted over there in Discord. Gene Siskel hated, in italics, hated the original 1984 horror film Silent Night, Deadly Night, calling
Okay.
its advertising sick, sleazy, and mean spirited, shaming the filmmakers for creating what he considered blood money profits from a morally repugnant movie and comparing it to I Spit on Your Grave as one of the most contemptible films ever seen.
Okay.
He took
Now
a
I gotta step in for that because I Spit on Your Grave was a great revenge movie, especially for women who have been assaulted or taken advantage of. I mean, that was just a great revenge. And this is coming from a man. This is just a great revenge movie. I
Yeah,
think that's got a lot of redeeming features. And Blood Money, it's like, dude, it's fake. Okay, no one was actually killed making this thing. That's the whole point. It's just fiction. It's like
right.
gotta dial it
Well,
back a little bit.
Gene Siskel is notorious for just being so brutal. Roger Ebert at times,
Yeah.
they
Well, Roger
sometimes
Ebert.
gave no grace to any film whatsoever,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Well, I always looked at Roger Ebert as a coin flip. Half the time, he was right on
yeah,
the money, whether a movie was actually good or artistically relevant. The other half, he was way off base and just didn't know what he was talking about.
way off. Um, yeah, they had a very interesting dynamic when they were together reviewing movies. Sometimes they were way off,
Yeah.
but all of this was just their opinion.
Yeah.
So, they can have that.
Right. But the
But
fact
I
that
think you're right.
their opinion became like the pedestal from which,
Yeah.
a lot of people got to judge, oh, well, if these two gods of the movie business say they like it, then I guess I'll go see it.
Mhm.
Or they don't like it, I won't. I mean, I just wonder how their opinion got to matter so much more than anybody else's educated opinion.
Yeah. Um, um, yeah. So what's interesting when you had commented, I spit on your grave. Um, so the original I Spit on Your Grave came out, what, in the 70s? And then there was a
Yep.
remake.
Yeah.
Um, what was the remake? 2000, okay,
Oh,
2010.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That was the one that I was first introduced to the lore of I Spit on Your Grave. I freaking loved that movie,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
think I take your attitude that as a woman, it was it was refreshing to see her come back and seek revenge the way she did.
Yeah.
I wonder how it compares though to the original. So that might be one that I visit. Yeah,
Hmm.
the
Well, and I'm a Scorpio. I'm a sucker for a good revenge film. I mean, if you
so
want
am
to get
I.
me involved, I love a good like Count of Monte Cristo. I Spit on Your Grave. Last House on the Left. I mean, any revenge scenario, I'm 100% there. I'm just waiting for
There
the
you
bad
go.
guys to like just to get theirs and get it as slowly as possible. Just revs my engine for some reason.
Yeah. Especially when they deserve it and they kind
Yep.
of drag it out a while,
Yeah.
and they don't get their comeuppance all at once.
Yeah. Well, and that's the key. What you just said is that we, as the audience, we need to see what they do. Sometimes there's some
Yeah.
teleplays that they don't show it or they imply it so that there's some reasonable doubt that maybe the bad guys didn't do what they did. But it's like when we see it, when we see them torturing or killing somebody else, and then they're enjoying it just for the sake of it. I mean, then it's we as the audience, we're like, okay, we're ready to see these guys go down and go down hard.
Right.
Oh,
Um, so I have about 8 minutes and about 15 seconds left. This movie is gonna be wrapping it up pretty soon.
yep,
So he came back to the orphanage, and I
yep.
think it was Matt who mentioned, yeah, oh my God, he killed Santa quickly, put on the suit, invoking the Santa Claus. So yeah, the guy came back to the where it all started, I guess, to the orphanage, and he's wreaking havoc.
Now,
Um,
now, there's this one scene. I don't know if you're going to come up on or have had it already, where it opens up on a snowman, and then an axe falls into the frame that's dripping blood, and then he decides to decapitate the snowman. It's like, what's that scene for? After all,
have you already seen it, or is it coming up?
it just happened. I've got about 6 minutes left in my version.
Okay, I have not seen it. Has anybody else seen that? Oh, Johnny Devick is saying entertaining if a little low budget for my taste. Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, over there in Discord, Chaos Fear. is saying, I love my Criterion artsy fartsy films, but I can appreciate and love low tier schlocky trash.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. And that gift that you put, Chaosphere from The Big Lebowski, I
The dude.
love that movie. Love it. I
And
cannot get enough of The
yeah,
Dude and all the cast of characters. It's just like almost a nothing twisty mystery of a movie that
yeah,
ended up really just going nowhere, but it was so entertaining.
yeah. With his
Okay,
feet burning.
Matt is at the kids singing at orphanage. Okay, I had that a couple minutes back, and now I'm at the cop is armed and he's coming up from the basement. Didn't see anything. He's coming up through the door, and something is gonna happen.
Yeah, he's about to get axed.
Yep. Okay, so that I'm gonna take back to that comment about the grainy footage. I just had a little grainy footage where the cop got the axe to the stomach and it was kind of out of place. And I think that was an additional shot that they put in because it showed him actually getting stabbed. Okay. Matt, you're just a little bit ahead. Now I'm at the cat singing in the orphanage, and Frosty the Snowman just got beheaded.
That's the scene I was
Is
talking about. It's like, what's that for?
Yeah,
I mean, it was actually a really
yep,
good shot to like just have the axe come in and it's dripping blood. It's like a nice little, and then he just chops off the head. It's very comical. Kind of
yeah.
conflicts,
Why would Santa do that? Because Santa's bad.
right? Oh, and there's the stinger for the sequel. All
Oh,
right.
is
Well,
that the brother?
yep,
Okay, yeah. So the brother's got to be here. He's only 4 years younger.
yep.
So if Billy's 18, Ricky's got to be 14.
Well, my version just ended. I'm at the credits right now.
Okay. Um, I'm at, he's at a showdown with Mother Superior.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's only 2 or 3 minutes behind.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be fair, the what how he ends it is kind of endearing in a little way where
Hmm.
after after he gets his coup de grace, he's kind of then telling the kids, "Don't worry, you're safe now. Santa Claus is gone." So it's almost as though he was like trying to like embody this evilness so that he could be taken out, and then then the kids would be protected in a way. I mean, I don't know if they were going that deep with this film, but it's an interesting way to end it.
Um, yeah, it is because it could have been, well, this is already dark because he just got shot in front of all of those traumatized kids.
Yep,
Um, but in reality, the cop had no choice.
yep.
Um, and so, yeah, his parting words to Sister Margaret. Yeah, I think this is where he delivers that line, "You're safe now." Oh, okay. He just said, "Yeah, you're safe now. Santa Claus is gone." Because in his mind, Santa Claus
Because he
is
is Santa Claus.
trauma.
Yeah,
Santa Claus is evil and he embodied that evil. But now that he's gone, the kids are safe from Santa Claus.
yep.
But I think we might be given,
We might be
I
giving too
don't know,
much
are we giving
credit, I think.
too much credit? No, because this is the kind of movie that the director set out to make.
Hmm.
Even if it is kind of a low budget sub B feel movie.
I like Miss Swift's GIF and
There you
Discord
go.
there from Nick Offerman. I regret nothing. The end. That's a good summary of this movie.
Um, so okay, mine just ended and we have the credits rolling, but
Yeah.
not before the last scene is that little kid who's frowning. I think that's his little brother.
Yep.
And yeah, I think we're all at the end now, right? Is anybody still rolling through the movie? But this really did set it up for the sequel, which I
Yeah.
haven't seen.
Yeah.
And I can just take everyone's word for it. It's the brother that comes up and is what now, the evil Santa, or is the evil villain who starts killing people.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're good. Yeah, short and sweet, guys. I like
That's
it.
right. I like it too.
So yeah, full of some gore and a nice little subplot that we can kind of get behind. But really, this is the kind of movie that I will not have to watch for years and years. I'll forget all about it. And then years from now, I'll probably say, oh, yeah, I remember that movie. That was kind of a fun movie to watch at Christmas time. Um,
Johnny
yeah.
Devitt
All
says
right,
this
guys.
movie's kind of Santa religious. Santa religious.
Yes, with that look is origin of sequel Ricky's evil eyebrows. Exactly. All right, guys. Any final thoughts? Any um any what? Any words of encouragement? Let's get some words of encouragement, guys, because Christmas is over. We have survived it. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It was just not as glorious as Christmases past,
Mhm.
but that's okay. I got through it, and I hope you guys did too. Um, this is a great place for us to meet every Sunday and just kind of get our bearings and get lost in a movie.
Yep.
Really, it's just as simple as that, guys.
Yep.
Um, and um, So yeah, let me kind of pontificate for just a few minutes before we wrap this up. So this is the last watch party of the year. I just want to just let you guys know how appreciative I am of everybody being here with me on this journey as we kind of find ourselves again, or we break free of Creator VC and we're just doing our own thing now. I have just enjoyed this immensely. As we get as we get geared up for 2026, um who knows what'll happen. I don't know what this channel is going to become. I have some thoughts of maybe it being a little bit more than just movies we do here once a week. I don't know what it looks like. um but maybe a place where I dive deep into movies, into movie lore, into different aspects of filmmaking, and the art of filmmaking. And we have discussions. We do it more than once a week. I don't know. Um, I don't know. But I do know I will be here next Sunday. We're going to kick off 2026 with a bang, with a sad bang, but um, we are going to be watching This Is Spinal Tap next
Huh.
week.
There we go.
Um, it is a super funny movie. One of my favorites. Um, and I've got a lot to say about Rob Reiner's legacy, and maybe you guys do too.
Yep.
If you're not a fan of his movies, that's fine too. Um, my taste is not necessarily your taste, but we can all just enjoy this time together, I
Yep.
guess. Um, all right.
And
Any final thoughts, Mr. Furzel?
well, I mean, kind of building off what you said, I think I speak for a lot of people in the vestiges of the VC group and the Discord channel that Eric put together. That we really appreciate you taking the reins on this. We really appreciate you, doing these watch parties, keeping us together because it does give us all something to look forward to. At
Yeah.
the end of each week, just getting together with people we know, talking, watching movies, talking about them. It's always a fun time. So, I mean, come what may, I hope that 2026, you'll keep doing this, even if we're doing the same old thing as we did before. Then it should still be a nice thing to look forward to at the end of a long week.
Yeah, I've gotten so used to doing this on Sundays, and not feeling so isolated from people. I am generally an introvert. I don't get out much. I don't, care to meet people in person and being in those social situations. This is just a fantastic gathering. I have loved getting together with you guys the last couple years. So I don't foresee stopping this at any point. Um, but yeah, maybe just doing something different and not just doing what Creator VC has started, but doing this and then um, doing some other stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I don't even know
yeah,
what it looks like because I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be doing this. Um, but here we are. Let's keep it
yeah,
going, guys.
yeah, one hundred
Thank you
percent.
guys for the kind words. I have loved doing this, and being a part of this group for as many years as we've been together. I want to just see us go into 2026 and beyond, and we'll see. And I appreciate all of you guys coming up and hosting. Um, and I love interacting with you guys and getting all these different viewpoints, all of these comments that we don't always have to agree. We just get together and share our opinion and just respect each other for it.
Yeah,
So who knows what 2026 brings, but we're going to start the whole month of January. I plan on showcasing movies from artists that we have lost this year. Rob Reiner being front and center.
cool.
Um, and I'm still working on the other three because we've lost a lot of artists this year.
Yeah,
So
we did.
I want to pick some really poignant ones. Um, and yeah, so I will fill that out in the coming week and let you guys know next week. So yeah, gear up for Spinal Tap. I know it's on all the streaming services. If you guys are lucky enough to have it on DVD, yeah, get the dust off it, put it in the DVD player, and let's do this. Um, so I am just so incredibly grateful that you guys are on this journey with me. Yes, Matt, Bridget Bardot just passed away. I heard that this morning.
Mm,
Um, I mean, what an icon. 91 years old. And she was a powerhouse and she just
mm,
passed away. So wow. Um,
wow.
yeah. Um, thank you for remembering that, Matt. Thank you. So um oh, yes. Okay, Eric is saying I want to shout out the passing of Adam the Woo. He was a big movie fan. We lost him just before Christmas. He was one of my favorite YouTubers. I had heard about that. I don't watch a lot of those YouTubers, but I probably should. But I do know he was a big name in the YouTube community. So shout out to him too. Um, there you go. So, anyway, guys, we're gonna just wrap this up. Thank you, Mr. Furzel, for being
Thank
here.
you.
Um, we will do this all next week. Get your copy of Spinal Tap if you haven't seen it, and it sounds like in the chat some of you haven't seen it. It is a good one. Um, so, all right, guys, have a good week. I'll see you next week. We're gonna kick off 2026 with a bang, and
Have
yes,
a happy
thank you
new year.
again. Happy New Year, guys. We'll see ya.
See ya.
Bye.